Indicators here. Happy weekend. Happy weekend. All right, so you know how we roll on weekends. We look back and we want to see how would we have done using the Maverick indicators. And you can see the DeLorean in the background. So it's time for back to the trading week, what we've been calling it here on the weekend. Just like to have fun, kind of an 80s movie fan. So here we go. Here's what we're going to do this weekend. We're going to take trades using the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick Radar. If you haven't seen this indicator yet, you're in for a treat. This thing is an absolute game changer, especially when you stack it on top of your other Maverick indicators, okay? So this thing is awesome. We literally, truly believe it is the ultimate trading assistant. And what it does is it goes through our entire checklist of what we look for an A+ setup. It digs into all of the elements that we look for outside of price action to determine, do we have no setup, do we have a B setup, or do we have an A+ setup? And it's just been an absolute game changer for myself and for many of our members, okay? So here are the rules of the game. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna look at trading NQ, all right? Why NQ? Well, whether you trade futures, stocks, Forex, crypto, options, whatever it is, as long as you can chart it on NinjaTrader or TradingView, our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView, you can use your Maverick indicators. Now, I like NQ because it's just a good kind of centered look at the market, if that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to trade NQ. We're only going to trade 2 contracts. I'm not going to trade 10 contracts. I'm not going to trade 20 contracts. We're just going to trade 2 contracts. You make $5 per tick per contract. Okay, and here's the thing. I've gotten some emails from you guys saying, hey, love the recaps, love them, keep them coming every single weekend. We love you doing different looks and different recaps on the weekend. Could you do an afternoon one? Gosh, I work, I can't trade the open. I know a lot of traders trade the open. That's what everybody preaches, yada, 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 or early in the morning. I can't trade till afternoon time. You know, Maverick, can you please look back and do afternoons? And the answer is sure. So I randomly picked 2 because really I don't want to trade in lunchtime. You know what I mean? Like that 12, 1 o'clock time. So I'm just going to get away from that. And we're just going to start trading at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So this will be pretty interesting. We're going to look to make at least $1,000 per day. So we're going to try and make at least $1,000 per day. And we're going to do a stop loss of $1,000. Now, I've talked to you guys about this in previous weekends, but I'm just going to say it again because I think it's a good, public service announcement here, is that profitable traders don't usually trade a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio. The reason I'm doing this is because I want to stack the odds against these indicators. I want to not just make it a layup, right? If I told you guys, hey, watch me use these indicators and I'm going to make $20, like you'd be like, that's not very impressive. I mean, I could probably close my eyes and have a winning percentage, right? Maybe I should think about that. But anyway, but I want to tie one arm behind our back and we're going to make at least $1,000. We're going to shoot for, we're $1,000 or bust. And we're going to risk $1,000. So that means that, think about this. If I lose 3 out of the 5 days, we're cooked. We're like, really, if I lose 2 out of the 5 days, it's like somewhat impressive, right? Because the $1,000 is going to wipe us out. So we're going to look to make at least $1,000 per day with $1,000 stop loss. Today in this video, I'm going to recap Monday. And then tomorrow, we're going to come back here on YouTube and I'm going to cover Tuesday through Friday, okay? So we're going to look at the entire week. Not going to skip a day. We're going to go Monday through Friday. Today, I'm just going to cover Monday. And then tomorrow, I'm going to do Tuesday through Friday. Okay, so these are our rules. Let's try and make at least $1,000 per day. And we're going to blindly take, and I should say this again, we're going to take A+ setups only from the Maverick Radar. We're not going to consider anything else. We're not going to look at price action. We're not going to look at our Maverick AI Pro. We're not going to look at anything else. We're just going to blindly take A+ setups the first time we see an A+ setup starting at 2 p.m. and we're going to try and make at least $1,000 per day. All right, folks, here we are. Now we are going to be using TradingView, but I want you to know that all our indicators work on TradingView and NinjaTrader. So whether you use TradingView or NinjaTrader, that's cool by us. All our indicators work on both those charts. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be waiting for an A+ setup. We're going to be waiting for an alert here. This big column will come up and say all aligned, and it'll give us an alert up here when we run into an A+ setup. And we're going to be looking to make at least $1,000 with risking $1,000. Now, if you're unfamiliar with our indicators, give me 2 seconds and let me just explain them to you really, really quick. First things first. When you have a red background, the bears are in control. When you have a green background, the bulls are in control, okay? The Maverick AI Pro, see how your candles are colored? The Maverick AI Pro colors your candles to the data, not to price and direction. What does that mean? Right now, you're probably trading with red and green candles. And that just tells you price and direction. What the Maverick AI Pro is doing is it's using a formula that we have built to look at the strength of the buying data or the selling data. Okay, so buying and selling data is what you're looking at. So think of this like a heat map, okay? Think of this like a heat map. And if you look, now this is coming out of lunchtime, but you had a buy signal, bright green candles. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Now you're coming out of lunchtime, but boy, this was a heck of a move. That would have paid a mortgage or two. Your Maverick signals is giving you a buy signal, and your bright green candles, that is your strongest upside candle. Now gray is indecision or reversal. And here it's reversal. You can see bright green, your strongest upside candle, then gray reversal. Then red, your second strongest downside data candle, to hot pink. And we have a saying, if you see pink, it will most likely sink. So look how you just buy signal, reversal candles, gray reversal, to green, to bright green, your strongest upside candle. Then you had a reversal, gray candle reversal, red to hot pink. If you see pink, it will most likely sink. So how cool is it that you look at a candle and you look at this one, you go, man, there is some serious selling data underneath the hood of this candle. Or you look at one of these guys and you say, man, there is serious. So even when you were coming back down here to the Maverick guide, which I'll talk about in a second, you still had bright green candles and you kept going up, okay? So the second thing I'll show you is, so how cool is it that you have a heat map? And by the way, the Maverick signals is just, God, I love this indicator, okay? Got to know your price levels. Like if you're going sideways and you get a sell signal, you know, you want to use caution, of course. But man, oh man, this thing just, man, it's so awesome. Anyway, Maverick guide. We love to go, see this blue line running through here? We love to go long when price is above the blue line and short when price is below it. Long when price is above it, okay? I could just show you that all day long. I mean, good golly. Short, long, of course, short. Okay, when price is below the Maverick guy, we like to go short. When price is above it, we like to go long. All right. Next thing, your Maverick trender. When this line is pegged to the top, it shows massive strength and momentum. Massive strength and momentum, okay? And look at this whole rundown. Your Maverick trender just kept getting spiked to the top, okay? And this doesn't slowly come up and slowly come down with, we tried to minimize fake outs on this indicator. So it's either at the top or it's at the bottom. And then finally, I'll just show you the Maverick Multi-X. 5 traders, think of these algorithms as traders. They all have a completely different style and they're voting across 6 time frames. You can add a 7th time frame, or you also change these time frames. Now, this is an indicator I built, or actually I had built for me years ago, spent a small fortune building it because I was having a hard time reading 4, 5, 6, 7 charts on my screen and then trade a different chart. Like, it was too hard to read all these charts. And I know it looks cool on people's desks, but like, I just couldn't do it. It was just too much to look at, too much to make a decision on. I wanted, in a nice, neat little box on my upper right-hand corner, 5 traders that all had a completely different trading style, all voting every single tick across 6 time frames. And that's what the Maverick Multi-X is. Imagine being in the room with 5 other traders who have a completely different style, and they're all telling you how they feel about the 1 minute, how they feel about the 2 minute, how they feel about the 3 minute, the 5. And that is stacking probability. You'll hear us talk a lot about that. The more probability you stack, the more, the higher the outcome or the probability of that outcome is. So what the Maverick Radar is doing, the ultimate trading assistant, is it's looking at each one of these elements I just walked you through, except for this. This Q is a very, very complex formula we built in here to keep you guys on the right side of the tracks, okay? But what it's doing is it's looking at our entire checklist of everything we're looking for from our Maverick indicators, and it's grading that setup. Okay, so right now you have no setup on ES, you have no setup on NQ, and the VIX has a down A+ setup. Now, one last thing before we start this thing I'm going to show you here, we're going to review the week, is we like, a lot of times you can just trade with one symbol, and you guys see me do this a lot. But what I'm going to do today is I'm going to put the ES, the NQ, because these guys should run together. These guys should always agree. ES and NQ should always agree. And then the VIX should be the complete opposite of ES and NQ. The VIX runs absolute opposite most of the time of ES and NQ. So what I want from my Maverick Radar is I want ES to agree with NQ if they both have an A+ setup, and then I want the VIX to have an A+ setup to the opposite way. To the opposite way. Does that make sense? Guys, when you stack probability like this, I mean, what are the odds that ES is going to agree with NQ? They both have an A+ setup, and then the VIX has an A+ setup to the opposite side. Woo! I mean, you're putting things in your favor. Okay, you're putting things in your favor. All right, so today we're going to look at Monday, and then tomorrow I'm going to come back on YouTube and we're going to look at Tuesday through Friday. We're not going to skip a day, and we're going to start our trading every single day at 2 p.m. All right, so here we go. Let's take this trade here on this Monday. So here's what I want you guys to do. I want you to keep your eyes right here on the Maverick Radar. I want you to watch for an A+ setup. So I'm just going to click through until we get that A+ setup here. So we're starting right at 2 o'clock. You can see, here we go. So now my ears are open, right? Or my ears are up or open, whatever the saying is. I have a B setup on ES, I have a B setup on NQ, and I have an A+ setup to the downside on VIX. Remember, the VIX needs to be the opposite. So I'm already going, okay, confidence arrow just appeared, bright green candle, your strongest upside candle, right? Strongest upside candle is right here. Price is above the blue line. Okay, we like to go short when price is below the blue line, long when price is above it. All 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. I want to say that again. All 5 traders, these are algorithms of course, but all 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. Really the only thing I'm missing is my Maverick trender pegged to the top. So, you know, I'd be thinking about getting in on a B setup, because you want to know the B setup so you know when something's about to happen. But we're only going to take A setups here. Okay, so boom, this thing pops straight up. You don't have an A+ setup yet, but man, you know, how do you know it's going to continue? Well, bright green candles, boom. Okay, so here we go. All right, now we got an A setup to the upside right here. Beautiful, A setup to the upside. So confidence arrow, confidence arrow, confidence arrow, bright green candles. Maverick trenders finally pegged. All 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. We're just stacking probability. And my Maverick Radar has gone through our entire checklist and said, hey, you got an A+ setup on ES, you got an A+ setup on NQ, which these guys should run together. And then the VIX should be completely opposite. So we want to see an A+ setup to the downside on the VIX. So I'm going to get in, And what I say, we're going to try and not lose $1,000. Yeah, we're going to risk 1,000. Okay, 1,000. And we're going to try and make at least 1,000. So let's see here. So I'll just stick that up there. There we go. All right, so if you're unfamiliar with TradingView, and remember all our indicators work on NinjaTrader and TradingView, we want to touch this green line before we touch this orange line or brown line or whatever color this is, okay? So that's the name of the game. We're blindly getting into an A+ setup. But if I was to tell you, I probably would have been in back here. Probably would have been in back here on that B setup, just because I can see it setting up. I don't know a different term, but there you go. All right, so here we go. So I'm just going to click through, and we're just going to see where this sucker goes. Beautiful buy signal. Now you got a buy signal. So now I'm super confident. I got an A+ setup to the upside from the Ultimate Trading Assistant, my Maverick Radar. I got a bunch of up confidence arrows. I have a buy signal. I have bright green. Bright green is our strongest upside candle. I'm up 330 bucks. So I'm feeling pretty good about this, right? Okay, price is above the blue line. Maverick trenders firing to the upside, 420 bucks. Okay. Now we're coming down just a minute. See, this would have been a red candle here. And how many traders are jumping ship right now? But you, if you have the Maverick AI Pro, let me zoom in here. If you have the Maverick AI Pro, what color is it? It's bright green. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. That's what we say. Because bright green is your strongest upside data candle. Bright green. So even while the rest of the world gets shaken out and they get a red candle here, we still have a bright green candle. We know underneath the hood, our data formula is telling us very rich to the upside, very rich to the upside, okay? Oh my gosh, that's close. Are you serious right now? 990 bucks. It's like it's stuck. Man, I'm going to be so mad if we lose this. Look at that. Like, it's within one tick because we're in 2 contracts of NQ, which pays $5 a tick. So that's 10 bucks. We're within one tick. That is insane. Absolutely insane. So you're up $990. We blindly took an A+ setup to the upside, okay? All 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames. And you had this beautiful buy signal. But again, remember, we're above the blue line. We love to go long when price is above the blue line. Okay. We love to go short when price is below the blue line. Okay. All right. So, and gray means indecision or reversal. So you're just, this is how you stay out of chop. How do I stay out of chop? Right here. Gray candles. Don't even touch gray. I don't care if you get a sell signal. This is like you're coming out of lunchtime up until 2 o'clock Eastern time. Okay. Yeah, anyway, so pretty cool. So this is clear vision, folks. This is edge. A+ setup on your radar, buy signal, bright green candles. If you see bright green, it might just fly right off your screen. Tons of up confidence arrows. Maverick trader pegged to the top, and all 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames, okay? So this is the moment of truth. I click this. Man, if we just shoot down, I'm going to be like, we came within $10. That would be insane. Up confidence arrow. Okay, we tagged it. We tagged it. We got it. All right, so there's your $1,000 on the day for Monday. And I can't say this enough. This is clear vision. This is edge. Not just seeing this, you know, bright green candles, strongest upside candle, green background, the bulls are in control, buy signal, all these up confidence arrows, all 5 traders are voting bullish across 6 time frames, Maverick trender pegged to the top. But on top of that, the ultimate trading assistant down here, the Maverick Radar, is feeding you up an A+ setup on ES, an A+ setup to the upside on NQ, and then an A+ setup to the downside on the VIX, which should be completely opposite. And it gave us that confidence. It checked our eyes. How many times have you gotten into it? It happens to all of us. How many times have you gotten into a trade? Okay, you get into it, you get stopped out, you go back later to review your trades as any good trader would do, and you're like, what the heck was I thinking? Well, let the Maverick radar be your eyes and double confirm, or in this case, triple confirm what you think you're about to get into. Do you really have an A setup? Is it just a B setup? Or do you have no setup? If you have no setup on the Maverick radar, I ain't getting into nothing. I'm not even thinking about it. Seriously. Okay, so boom. So that was Monday. We got our $1,000 in for Monday, just blindly taking trades from the ultimate trading assistant, the Maverick radar. But I wanted to point out how all the other indicators visually help you through. It's just unbelievable how these things guide you. Okay, so tomorrow, I'll try and record early in the morning and then I'll get it out to you guys. You guys know I wake up super crazy early, even on Sundays. So I'll try and record the rest of the week. We'll go Tuesday through Friday, and we're going to do the exact same exercise. We're going to try and make at least $1,000 per day, Monday through Friday. And here's Monday. We already did our 1,000, and we'll look at Tuesday through Friday. So folks, if you want edge in the market, if you want clear charts, clear vision. And again, remember, all our indicators work on TradingView and NinjaTrader. Come check us out. All right. Not financial advice. Do your own research. Never a guarantee in the market. You guys know that. Anybody who's traded for more than a day knows that. But man, I couldn't be more proud of so many of you folks that already have our indicators, passing evals, getting your first payout, getting your second payout. Like, it's just so cool watching some of you guys just, hey, I've been trading for 5 years and this is the first time like I've ever even passed an eval. It's like, man, that just makes my day. So keep those emails coming. But if you're not a member yet, and if you do want to come check us out, we would love, love, love for you to do that. It's not for everybody, but man, we are having so much dang fun every single day. Just go back and watch our YouTube channel. We just have so much fun. Read the comments. It's just so fun. So anyway, so come check us out, and come check out YouTube tomorrow. I go over Tuesday through Friday, all right? And we'll try and make at least $1,000 per day using our Maverick indicators and all that stuff. So cool. All right, guys, hope you have the best Saturday ever. Come check us out. MaverickIndicators.com. That's MaverickIndicators.com.